Hello guys, in this video we are going to be working on GEC, GEC, NS question paper, NS question paper. Okay, and without wasting any time, we are going to start with our first question. But before we begin, guys, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so that you can help the channel grow and so that when we upload new content, you are the first to be notified. Okay, so now let's start with our first question. So we'll start with section A. So section A says that which one of the following is an example of a field force? Which one of the following is an example of the field force? So we need to understand that a field force is a force that can act on an object without physical contact. So we need to understand what a field force is. So a field force is a force is a force is a force that can act on an object without physical contact. Without physical contact. Okay, so you don't need to connect the two objects physically for it to act on it. So that force, it will be B. So you all know how a magnetic force works, right? So the correct answer will be B. And then next, we will move to question 2. So question 2 says that the picture shows a boy transporting his toys using a cart. So we are told that we are given a picture that shows a boy transporting his toys using a cart. So this basically means that this is our cart and this is the toys that they are referring to, and this is the boy. So now the question says that which one of the following is the effect? Which one of the following is the effect of the force applied by the boy on the cart as shown in the diagram? Okay, so let's read our answers and see which one would fit in perfectly. Okay, so we are told that which one of the following is the effect of the force applied by the boy on the cart as shown in the diagram. So here we are seeing the first possible answer. They are saying the cart stopped moving, and we can see that the boy is moving forward. And if the boy is moving forward, it means that even the cart will be following the boy. And then option B says that the shape of the cart changed, and we can see that when it moves, its shape doesn't change. Only the wheels are the ones that are rolling, but the shape of the cart remains the same. And then option C says that the cart moved in the direction of the boy. So this makes sense, right? So if the boy is moving in the eastern direction, it means that even the cart will be moving in the eastern direction. So this basically means that our answer will be C. Our answer will be C. Okay, and then next we will move to our next questions. So here we will move to question 3. So question 3 says that the sketches show various types of forces. So question 3 says that the sketches shows various types of forces. So we can see the first sketch. We can see that in our first sketch we are given a tree and then we are also given a ladder, right? And then in our second sketch, or rather sketch X, we are given a coup and a hand, right? And then in our sketch Y, we can see that there is a person trying to push something. And then in sketch Z, we can see that we are given this object. So now our question says that which sketch shows a contact force? Which sketch shows a contact force? So we can see here that a sketch that shows a contact force is sketch Y. because a person on sketch Y is trying to move this box. So we can see that this is our box. So we can see that a person in sketch Y is trying to push the box forward. So that's what we call a contact force, because we can see that this person has touched the box. So that's what contact means. So the person has touched the box. Okay. So our correct answer will be sketch Y. Our correct answer will be sketch Y. And then next, we will move to question 4. So question 4 says that a non-contact force is a force exerted. So now they're speaking about a non-contact force. So a non-contact force is a force exerted by two objects at a distance from each other. It's a force exerted by two objects at a distance from each other. So if we have object A here, if we have object A, and then we also have object B, we can see that there is no contact between the two objects. So there is a distance. There is a distance. This is what we call a distance. So there is a distance between the two objects. There is a distance between the two objects. So that's what we call a non-contact, because there is no contact between the two objects. So our correct answer will be option D. Our correct answer will be option D. And don't forget, guys, don't forget to tell us where you are watching from in the comment section. So if you are watching from Gauteng, just type Gauteng on the comment section so that we can know. That when we upload more videos, we can be able to upload videos of those provinces. So that when we upload videos, we can be able to upload videos of those provinces. So just let us know where you are watching from. Okay, so if you're in Cape Town, just comment Cape Town. And if you're in Free State, if you are in Limpopo, just comment with your province or city. And then we will know that when we record next videos, we will focus on papers for that specific province. Okay, so let us know on the comment section. And then next, let's move to our next question, which is question 5. Next, let's move to our next question, which is question 5. So question 5 says that which statement best describes the relationship between gravitational force and distance between the objects? Which statement best describes the relationship between gravitational force and distance between the objects? Right? So first, we need to understand what gravitational force is. We need to understand what gravitational force is. So that's what we need to firstly understand before we jump into our question. So a gravitational force. So whenever we are speaking about a gravitational force, we should understand that when objects are closer, gravity is stronger. We should understand that when two objects are closer, their gravity is stronger. So we can say when objects are closer, gravity is stronger. Gravity is stronger, right? And when objects are further apart, so by closer, we mean closer to each other, right? So the gravity becomes stronger. But when objects are further apart, so this basically means that when they are not close to each other, when they are further apart, gravity then becomes weaker. Gravity becomes weaker. And by saying that, we can easily see that our answer will be B. Our answer will be B because B says that gravity force decreases as the distance between objects increases. So the gravity force decreases, the gravity force decreases as the distance between objects increases. So what does that mean? So it means that the gravity force, let's say we have object A and object B. So we can see that they're not too far apart from each other. So the gravity force is strong. But then when the distance now increases between the two, the gravity force then becomes weak. It decreases. That's what we mean by decrease. So our correct answer will be B. Okay, and then next we will move to our next question, which is question 6. So question 6 is that which one of the following is correct about Turbo's weight on the moon? About Turbo's weight on the moon. It will be, okay, so we need to understand the relationship between the moon and the earth when it comes to this question. So now the question says that which one of the following is correct about Turbo's weight on the moon. So this is what Turbo think about the moon. And we are told that it will be less than his weight on earth. It will be less than his weight on earth. So that's the correct answer. So that basically means that our correct answer will be C. So it will be less than his weight on the moon. Okay, and then next we will move to question 7. Next we will move to question 7. So question 7 says that Tandy used a bar magnet to test which materials. So Tandy used a bar magnet to test which materials. So we are given iron, nickel, lead, steel, and copper. And we are told that these are magnetic, right? And then we are told that the table below represents the results of her investigations. So guys, to answer this question, we need to understand different types of magnetic materials. So there are different types of magnetic materials. So we need to understand the types of magnetic materials, right? And we can list them. So magnetic materials includes iron, includes nickel, and it also includes steel. So these are magnetic materials, right? And then we also have non-magnetic materials. We also have non-magnetic materials, and we'll list them, right? And our non-magnetic materials will be lead and copper. So these are our non-magnetic materials, and these are our magnetic materials. So the question says that choose the best combination that best represents her results. So we can see that her results includes iron, nickel, lead, steel, and copper. And the question was saying that Tandy used a bar magnet to test which materials are magnetic. So she was basically testing materials that are magnetic, right? And we know here that our magnetic materials are iron, are nickel, and steel, right? So if we check option A, we can see that she said, remember, she is testing which materials are magnetic materials. So if we check A, it's iron, and then they said no. So they're basically saying that iron is not a magnetic material. And we can see here that iron is part of the magnetic material. So without even going further, we can just see that option A won't be the correct answer. So we can basically just see that option A won't be the correct answer. So option A won't be the correct answer. And then next, we will move to option B. Next, we will move to option B. And option B says that iron, they said yes, iron is a magnetic material. And then nickel, they said yes. And we can see that our magnetic materials includes iron, nickel, and steel. And then on lead, they said no, it's not a magnetic material. And we have stated here non-magnetic materials. And we can see that we have lead and copper. So this no basically means that our lead or lead is not a magnetic material, which is correct. And then we can see that we have steel. They are saying that steel is a magnetic material. And we can see here that our steel is our magnetic material. And then lastly, they spoke about copper. And they said that copper is not a magnetic material. And we can see that copper falls under non-magnetic material, right? So our best option will be option B. Our correct option will be option B. So the answer will be B. Okay? And then next we will move to our next question. Next we will move to our next question. Don't forget guys to tell us in the comment section where you are watching from. Okay? Just tell us in the comment section where you are watching from. So if you are in Gauteng, Free State, Cape Town, Bloemfontein, you can either state your city or you can even state your province. So that will help us upload papers of those provinces. So that will help us upload papers of those provinces. Okay. So now we'll move to our next question, which is question 8. Now we'll move to question 8. So Andy, question 8 says that Andy rubs a balloon with a piece of cloth so that the balloon obtains a positive charge. So Andy rubs a balloon with a piece of cloth so that the balloon obtains a positive charge, right? And we are told that she then holds the balloon close to her hair. She then holds the balloon close to her hair and feels her hair is rising towards the balloon, right? So now the question is saying that why is Andy's hair rising towards the balloon? Why is Andy's hair rising towards the balloon? So this basically means that the hair is negatively charged. So this basically means that the hair is negatively charged. And our answer will be option A, right? And then next, we will move to our next question, which is question 9. Next, we will move to our next question, which is question 9. So question 9 says that which one of the following is not true? Which one of the following is not true about lightning? So we are looking for the one that is not true. We are looking for the answer that is not true. Okay? So here, the first option says that lightning can strike the same place multiple times. So we can see that this one is true. So lightning can strike the place multiple times, right? And then remember we're looking for the one that is not true. So the first one we can see that it is true. It's true that lightning can strike the same place multiple times. And then option B says that lightning can strike even if it is not raining in your area. So that's true. So it does not needs to be raining for lightning to strike. So that basically means that lightning can also strike even if it's not raining. So it can also strike even if it's not raining. Okay, and then next we have option C, which says that unplugging appliances can protect them from power surges. So this is true. We know that this is true. So if we unplug our appliances it can protect them from the power surges. That's also true. And then now we are left with option D. So option D says that lying flat on the floor will keep you safe during lightning. And we can see that this is not true. So even if you are lying flat, even if you are lying flat on the ground, that does not mean that you will be protected from lightning. So lightning can still strike you even if you are lying flat on the ground. So our answer here will be option D. So our correct answer will be option D. Okay, and then next we will move to our next question, which is question 10. So question 10 says that which of the following is correct regarding a lemon battery? Which of the following is correct regarding a lemon battery? So we know that a lemon battery is made up of zinc and copper. And then if we check here, we can see that a lemon battery is made using zinc and copper electrodes in a lemon. So our correct answer is clear. It will be option D because we can see that they mentioned zinc and they also mentioned copper. Okay, and then next we will move to our next question, which will be question 11. Which will be question 11. So question 11 says that the diagram shows different connections of a cell or cells, right? So we can see here that we have a positive side and a negative side, right? So we are asked, here we are asked which combination in the diagram represent acceptable symbols for a battery. Which combinations in the diagram represents acceptable symbols for a battery. So we can see that both symbols includes a positive and a negative sign, right? So we can see that both symbols includes a positive and a negative. And here, if we check clearly, we can see that a combination that is acceptable for a battery will be option 2 and option 3. So we can just see that they are different from the other one. So we can see here that we don't even have an inside component. And here we can see that we have an inside component. And here we can see that our inside components are equal. Unlike here, wherein we have 2 here and 1. So this basically makes it not true. Even this one, we can see that we don't have any inside component. So our correct answer will be 2 and 3. And if we go to our options, which one represents 2 and 3? We can see that that would be option A. That would be option A. Okay, and then next we will move to our next question, which is question 12. Next we will move to our next question, which is question 12. So question 12 says that what type of energy conversion takes place in an electrochemical cell? What type of energy conversion takes place in an electrochemical cell? What type of energy takes place in an electrochemical cell, right? So we need to understand that an electrochemical cell, we need to understand that an electrochemical cell stores chemical energy. So it stores chemical energy and converts it into electrical energy. So it stores chemical energy, and then after storing it, it then converts it into electrical energy, and then converts it into electrical energy. Okay, so now we need to find an answer that matches this description or this definition from the options that we are given. Okay, so we are told that what type of energy conversion takes place in an electrochemical cell. So we are told that chemical energy to electrical energy. And this will be correct because we are told that it stores chemical energy, and then from chemical energy, it then converts it into an electrical energy. So that's the definition of electrochemical cell. Even like it even says that itself. It says electro, so it's electric and chemical, right? So it even defines itself. So it's electric, electrochemical. So they spoke about electric and chemical cells. So obviously it needs to speak about electrical and chemical. Obviously, even our answer needs to speak about electric and chemical. Okay, so our correct answer will be option A. And then next, we will move to our next question. Next, we will move to our next question. So this is question 13. This is question 13. So question 13 says that the diagram below shows the energy transfer taking place in a light bulb. So we are told that the diagram below shows the energy transfer taking place in a light bulb. So we are told to study the diagram and answer the questions that follows. So we are told to study the diagram and answer the questions that follows. So we can see here, we can easily see that. So we can easily see that the light is taking 10% and the 90% is wasted. Okay, so here they are asking us how much energy is wasted by the light bulb above. So this is the energy that is used, and then this is the energy that is wasted. Remember, it has a total of 220 J. So now they are asking us how much energy is wasted. So the energy that is wasted is 90%. So this basically means that it's 90% of the 220. Right? So we can say 90%, or we can say 220 multiplied by 90 divided by 100. So if we do this, we will get the same answer. So let's say 220 multiplied by 90%. So our answer will be 198. And then even if we say 220 multiplied by 90 divided by 100, our answer will also be 198. So we can either use this method or this method. Both method, both methods will give us the same answer. Both methods will give us the same answer. So do we have 198 on our options? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. So we do have 198 on our options. And then next, we will move to our next question, which is question 1.4. Not question 1.4, question 14. Next, we will move to question 14. So question 14 says that the learner uses different lengths of conducting wires made from the same material to investigate how the length of a conductor affects the current flow. So we are told that the learner uses different lengths of conducting wires made from the same material to investigate how the length of a conductor affects the current flow. And we are told that the graph below shows the results of the investigation. So we have the length versus the current. So we have the length, and then we also have the current. So before we even go to our questions, we need to study the graph that we are given and see the relationship between the two variables. So we have two variables. We have the length, and then we also have the current. So we need to see what's happening on this diagram, right? So if we check, we can see that when the length increases, so it increases by going it increases by moving towards the right. So when it increases, we need to check what's happening to the current. So when the length increases, we need to check what's happening to the current. So we can see here that when the length increases, the current decreases, right? The current decreases. And what do we mean by that? So we can see here that when our length is on 0.5, our current was on 4, right? But then when our length increased to 1.0, our current then became 3. You can see, so it moved from 4 to 3. So this basically means that when the length increases, the current decreases. The current decreases. Okay, so now the question says that how did the change in the length of a conductor affect the current? So they are asking us what we just explained. They are asking us what we just explained, right? So let's check our options, right? Because we know we have already analyzed our graph. So the first question says that when the length of the conductor increases, when the length of the conductor increases, the current decreases because the resistance has increased. So the current decreases. So when the length increases, the current decreases. And that's what we identified. That's what we identified. So that basically means that our answer will be option A. That basically means that our correct answer will be option A. Will be option A. And then next, we will move to our next question, which is question 15. Next, we will move to our next question, which is question 15. So question 15 says that which property of a material in a conductor affects resistance in a closed electric circuit? Which property of a material, which property of a material in a conductor affects resistance in a closed circuit? So we know that that would be our temperature. So that type of material is our temperature. So this basically means that our correct answer will be temperature. Okay. So this is our part 1. So guys, if you want me to record part 2, please subscribe to the channel and also tell me the province that you are watching from. So you can say subscribed and then you say how ding. So you please start by subscribing and then tell me the province. So once I see that you have subscribed and then you've also stated your province, then I will paste the link on each and every comment. I will paste the link of the next questions on each and every comment. So please guys, make sure that you start by subscribing and then state your province, and then I will be able to paste the link of the next questions on the comment. So I will check each and every comment. I will check each and every comment. Okay, so this is our part A, and you guys will let me know if you want part B on the comments sections.